Okay, so you've brought your newborn home. It's amazing, right? But it can also be a little terrifying. You might be thinking, am I doing any of this right? Well, take a deep breath. You've totally got this. And we're here to help. We're going to break down all the essentials you need to know for these first few weeks so you can feel way more confident. All right, your tiny new roommate has arrived, and suddenly you have a million questions. Totally normal, by the way. So let's just walk through it all together. We're going to cover the absolute basics, everything from how to hold them for the very first time, all the way to those super important sleep routines. Ready? Let's dive in. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the most important skill right out of the gate, how to handle your newborn safely. Seriously, getting this part right sets the foundation for everything else. It's all about making sure both you and your baby feel totally safe and secure. I know, this sounds super basic, but trust me, it's your number one rule. You gotta wash your hands. A newborn's immune system is, well, it's brand new and still figuring things out. That means they're really susceptible to germs. So washing your hands every single time, before a cuddle, before a feeding, before a diaper change, is honestly one of the biggest things you can do to keep them healthy. Okay, let's break down the do's and don'ts here because this is crucial. The big do is to always support their head and neck. They have zero neck control at this point, so you're their support system. Now for the don't, and this is a big one. It's an absolute, non-negotiable rule. You never, ever shake a newborn, not even if you think you're just playing. It can cause serious, permanent brain damage. So if you need to wake your baby up, just give their little feet a gentle tickle. That's all you need. All right, so once you've got the whole handling your baby safely thing down, we can move on to the really fun part, building that amazing bond. Let's talk about all the ways you can connect with and soothe your little one. Bonding is really all about that connection, right? Simple things like just cradling them or gently stroking their back. That physical touch actually releases feel-good hormones for both of you. And your voice, it's like their favorite song. They've been listening to you for months from the inside, so when you sing or read to them, it's this super comforting, familiar sound. Just a little tip though, try not to overdo it with noise and lights. Sometimes the best bonding happens in a calm, quiet space. Okay, swaddling. This can be an absolute game changer, I'm not kidding. That snug little wrap feels just like the womb to them, which can be magical for calming a fussy baby. So as you're following these steps, just remember the goal here. You want it to be snug and secure, but not too tight around the hips. They need to be able to move their little legs around for healthy hip development. Pay attention here because this is a really, really important safety warning. Swaddling is great, but it has an expiration date. As soon as you see your baby even thinking about trying to roll over, which is usually around 2 months, it's time to stop. Why? Because if a swaddled baby rolls onto their tummy, they might not be able to roll back over, and that is a major safety risk. So once they hit that milestone, it's time to switch to a sleep sack. All right, let's get into the stuff that's going to become your new daily routine, like super fast, diapering and bathing. We'll go over how to keep your baby clean, comfy, and happy. Okay, let's talk diaper rash. Look, it's probably going to happen at some point, so please don't panic. It is so common. A baby's skin is just super sensitive, and that irritation is basically a reaction to being in a wet or dirty diaper. The good news? It's almost always really easy to deal with. So, how do you deal with it? The best defense is a good offense. First, change those diapers often. Don't let them sit in a wet one. Second, when you do a change, be gentle. And if you can, let them have a little airtime with no diaper on. That really helps. And finally, your secret weapon, a thick layer of diaper cream. Use it at every change. It creates a barrier that protects their skin. And what about bath time? I know you're probably dying to get those cute baby in a tub photos, but you gotta hold off for just a bit. Until that little umbilical cord stump fouls off completely, which can take anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks, a simple sponge bath is all you need to do. Okay, moving on to the main event, feeding. This is going to be a huge part of your life for a while, so let's get right into it. We'll cover the big questions. How often do they eat? How much? And yep, what to do right after. Yeah, get ready to completely forget what your old clock looked like. A newborn's tummy is tiny. We're talking the size of a cherry at first. It empties fast, which means you're on a feeding schedule of every 2 to 3 hours. And yes, that means around the clock, 24/7. You might even have to wake them up to eat, which feels crazy, but it's important they get enough food. So, how much is enough? Well, here are some good rules of thumb. If you're breastfeeding, a good feed might be about 10 to 15 minutes on each side. If you're formula feeding, you'll probably start with about 2 to 3 ounces. But remember, these are just guidelines. The most important thing is to watch your baby and learn their hunger cues. And after the meal comes the burp. Don't skip this part. It's super important for getting rid of any air they swallowed, which, trust me, helps avoid a lot of fussiness later. You can try any of these positions, up on your shoulder, sitting on your lap, or even lying across your lap. The main thing is to always support their head and keep it higher than their chest. Oh, and yeah, a burp cloth is about to become your new best friend. Okay, we're at our last section, and honestly, it might be the most important one of all. Safe sleep. Really paying attention to these rules is one of the absolute best things you can do to keep your baby safe. Seriously, if you only remember one thing from our entire chat today, please let it be this. The golden rule is back to sleep. Every single time you put your baby down to sleep, for a nap, for the night, every time, they go on their back. This one simple thing dramatically reduces the risk of SIDS by helping keep their airway open. And here's rule number 2 for safe sleep. A bare crib is the best crib. I know it's so tempting to put in a soft blanket or a cute stuffed animal, but please don't. All of those things are a suffocation hazard. All your baby needs in their crib is a firm mattress and a fitted sheet that's on there nice and tight. That is it. Nothing else. And one last thing on sleep, and this one's for you, to help you keep your sanity. Newborn sleep is chaotic. It's not like our sleep at all. It happens in these short 2 to 4 hour chunks all day and all night. It is 100% normal for them to not sleep through the night for a long, long time. So as long as they're healthy and growing, try to remember that this is just what they do. You are doing an amazing job. Look, becoming a parent can feel completely overwhelming. The learning curve is steep, no doubt about it. But just trust yourself. Trust the process. Every single day, you're going to get a little bit better at figuring out what your baby needs. Your confidence is going to grow, and before you know it, you'll find a rhythm that's perfect for your family. So we've gone through the big essentials, but of course, your journey is just getting started. You're always going to be learning. So we want to leave you with this question to think about. What's the one thing you're still wondering about? Keep asking questions, keep learning. And most of all, try to soak in this amazing, crazy, and super short time.